Respected Chairman Vishwakarma Saab, Member Personnel Jain Saab, Board Secretary Verma ji, और DDG IR Kela Saab. At the outset, I am very happy and thankful to the DGOF and Chairman for convening this meeting. You have taken over the charge of this 219 years old organization on the 1st of September. And of course, you have mentioned in your introductory remarks, you were engaged with a lot of commitments, and we are also happy to listen from you that some successful story of the Ordnance Factory Board within this 10-15 days. You were able to achieve it. We are very happy to listen about the Sharang story. BFJ is able to roll it out, and about the carbine pertaining to the small arms factory, especially RFI, and of course Dhanush of gun carriage factory. And as you know, bulletproof jacket has been developed by OCF and OCF Avadi, and 2 bulletproof jackets have already been handed over to the police, Tamil Nadu State Police, and more orders are expected. So these are all some good news which are there for the organization. But as my President Mr. Pathak has rightly mentioned, you have taken over the Ordnance Factory Board, and of course this meeting is also taking place in a time when all of us are in a turbulence. On the one side, the threat of COVID-19 pandemic, and on the other side, the threat of another pandemic in the name of corporatization. Lot of discussions have taken place. The entire organization is against corporatization. The entire organization is opposing corporatization. And we 3 federations have given alternative suggestion to the government. That also is not being listened in a positive manner. I am very impressed after going through the minutes of the last board meeting held on 31/8/2020. We know that as we are opposing corporatization as an Ordnance Factory Board, you may not be able to oppose it in that type of a language or that type of a manner. But you have expressed your concerns. The Ordnance Factory Board has expressed your concerns on different topics. I am not going into the details of that because it is there in the minutes of the meeting. On almost all the aspects, you have mentioned your concern that if this departmental organization, if it is converted into a corporation, what will happen? Whether this organization will survive or not. Whether the government of India or the decision makers sitting in the South Block, they have taken into account all these implications which are going to happen about the future existence, survival of the organization, as well as the morale and motivation of the employees, which you have clearly mentioned in the minutes of the meeting. When you are dealing with the HR issue, you have very clearly pointed out this decision of the government is totally demoralizing to the entire workforce of the ordnance factories. That you have very clearly mentioned. My only request to you is, before going into the other issues, please stand by that. Please do not deviate from the stand taken by you on 31/8/2020, whatever may be the pressure or whatever may be the directions which are coming from the ministry. We request you that please stand by the decisions taken, the concerns expressed by the Ordnance Factory Board in its meeting held on 31/8/2020. And I am confident that Vishwakarma Saab, as chairman of this organization, will definitely stand by that and will convey definitely the feelings of the, we say 80,000, but now I don't know whether we are 79,000 or 78,000. whatever may be the number, the workforce feelings may correctly conveyed to the government in its true perspective. This is the first point what I would like to mention here. Second point, sir, we are very much worried, concerned about the OFB instruction dated 14/9/2020. We know it is not your instruction. An advisory guidelines has been framed by the Department of Defence Production, and you have been asked to circulate it. But my only complaint with the OFB is, you see, this is an industry, no? This is not a government office. And the strike is based on the Industrial Dispute Act 1947. And if you go through the advisories and guidelines given by the Ministry of Defence, which you have circulated on 14/9/2020, there are many such clauses which are nothing but unfair labor practice mentioned in the Industrial Dispute Act. Many of the clauses which you have given, prevent the worker from doing strike, call the association and tell them these are all the consequences if you participate in the strike. Like that, you have given a big list. Definitely, if you strictly go through the provisions of the list given in the schedule about unfair labor practice, many of these directions, whatever you have given to the general manager, is a clear violation of the ID Act 1947. I must have thanked you if you must have conveyed, the Ordnance Factory Board, IR Division must have conveyed this to the ministry before issuing the instruction that these are all certain provisions which are against the provisions of the ID Act 1947, and these are the unfair labor practice. So these provisions cannot be kept in these operative instructions. Unfortunately, that has been done. Whatever ministry have issued, you have simply circulated it. Now the third issue is, we have written a representation, a letter to you, which you have gone through also. This is about you have mentioned that certain ammunition items are restored. But I would like to know from the chairman, the ammunition item, especially this cartridge 5.56 NATO, 20 lakhs, which has been withdrawn. We have represented to you that you may approach MGO and that should be restored back, because that is a major item which is affecting Ordnance Factory Ambarnath and Ammunition Factory Kadiki. Now we are happy to listen to you that you have mentioned some of the ammunition items which are withdrawn by the MGO has been restored back. I want a confirmation from the chairman whether this item is also restored or not. In case if it is not restored, I request to chairman that once again you may approach MGO and ensure that this 20 lakhs cartridge 5.56 NATO is also restored to Ordnance Factory Board. Sir, then you may be, I don't know whether it is there in the limelight or not. There are two issues which we have discussed with the Secretary DP during the last 2-3 years, including in JCM third level and Apex Productivity Council meeting. One is the separation of salary budget from the cost of the product, and the second is implementation of the Madam Sangeeta Kar Committee recommendations with regard to delinking the expenditure of accounts and various overhead expenditure, NPS contribution and pension contribution from the cost of the product. We do not know what happened to that. In fact, in the National Council JCM meeting held during last year 2019 under the Cabinet Secretary, Chairmanship of Cabinet Secretary, today's Defence Secretary Dr. Ajay Kumar, he was the Secretary DP at that point of time. When we raised this issue in that meeting, he has told that the Department of Defence Production is very seriously looking into that matter, and a committee has been constituted to work out the modalities. But unfortunately, nothing has happened. So I would like to know from the DGOF and chairman, what happened to these proposals, two proposals, sir. One is delinking the salary expenditure from the cost of the product, and implementation of the Sangeeta Kar Committee recommendations. Then, sir, as our President Mr. Pathak has mentioned, you see, there are after this corporatization came into this thing, and because of the pandemic situation, nobody is bothered about the points which are pending in the JCM, the issues which you have taken up, the piecework correlation. Pay Commission Gazette notification came in June, implemented from 1/1/2016, and today we are in 2020. 2016 Pay Commission, 2020 September we are in this meeting. What happened to that piecework correlation proposal? And when everybody is getting the 7th Pay Commission benefit, by these 42,000 piece workers and another 10-15,000 maintenance workers, they will continue to get their piecework and incentive in the 6th Pay Commission pay scale. What has it to do with the corporatization of the government? In the name of corporatization, how many proposals they will reject? So this piecework correlation issue is a very important issue, sir, which you may please take up seriously at your level. At your level, routine letter जाने में काम नहीं होगा. आपका लेवल में सेक्रेटरी डिफेंस फाइनेंस का लेवल में इसको टेकअप करके this pending piecework correlation proposal may be approved at the earliest. Then 2 proposals of yours have been turned down by the ministry. What is the reason we do not know. One is incentive for the examiners. Financial implication was only 83 crores. Again, it was a high-level committee. The then DGOF Vajpayee Saab was the chairman of that committee. The committee recommended with all justifications, all logic, examiners should be given incentive. There is no huge financial implication also. 83 crores was the implication. But that has been rejected. Without even holding a discussion with the federations, who are a party for this recommendation, the government has simply rejected it. And the board also has kept it, government has rejected, so no more action on that. Even we have not been communicated about that. But we came to know from DDP that it has been rejected. Then the piece workers, DOT, 3¼ hours overtime issue. From 2006, the federations are fighting for that. That proposal also you have sent. We were told that also has been returned back. So in the name of corporatization, all the service issues can be just like that thrown in the dustbin. So these issues chairman has to take up very seriously, sir. Then the next issue is night duty allowance. The government have issued night duty allowance, and as the earlier government orders, they have restricted it to some 43,000 basic pay or something like that. But for Ordnance Factory Board, Ministry has given a clear clarification after 6th Pay Commission. The employees who were getting night duty allowance, the category of employees who were getting night duty allowance during the 4th Pay Commission period, without any ceiling limit, they all will continue to get night duty allowance. And on that basis, when 6th Pay Commission orders were issued, you took up with the government, and government has given a clearance to you that the categories who were already getting night duty allowance in the Ordnance Factory Board, they will continue to get night duty allowance without any ceiling. Accordingly, you have sent the list of categories to the PCOPA factories, got it approved and issued the instruction. But now simply you have forwarded the DOPNT orders, and the factories are now in a fix because these employees were already getting night duty allowance. And now the factory managements are telling you 43,000 का ऊपर आपका basic pay है तो आपको night duty allowance नहीं मिलेगा. That means no master craftsman, no highly skilled grade 1, no civilian motor driver grade 1 selection grade, chargeman, nobody will get it. Then what is the incentive for them to work in the night shift, sir? So this is one issue. After going through the files of the 6th Pay Commission correspondence, the notings and all, you will be able to know it. On the same analogy, we have to issue a fresh instruction to all the ordnance factories that the employees who were already getting, the category of employees who were already getting night duty allowance, they will continue to get night duty allowance without any basic pay ceiling. this instruction has to be issued, sir. Then another important issue is about the entry grade pay. For industrial workers, you have given that there are many non-industrial categories like supervisor, non-technical, where there is a promotion, there is a direct recruitment element. There is a DR element available. If a DR, according to the Ministry of Finance and the DOPNT clarification, in the recruitment rule for a particular category, if a DR element is there, on promotion also they will get the minimum entry pay benefit. But for the non-industrial employees, that orders have not yet been issued. This may also you may please take a note of it. And cadre restructuring. No cadre restructuring for the past 20 years. Any category for that matter. It may be Darwan, it may be canteen employees, it may be firefighting staff, it may be clerical staff, it may be storekeeper. Any category in the organization, no cadre restructuring has taken place for 20 years. Your proposals will be returned when a pay commission comes. And pay commission will never recommend on cadre restructuring. Afterwards, if you submit, now on the plea of corporatization, no cadre restructuring proposal is considered by either by the OFD or by the government. Recently, we had a meeting under the chairmanship of Mr. B.S. Reddy, DDG, with regard to the stenographer cadre restructuring of the ordnance factories. All the three federations have given an unanimous proposal that this category should be merged and there should be a unified cadre of stenographers for the entire organization, so that they will have a line of promotion up to principal private secretary. So that committee's recommendation also is yet to be finalized. This is also an important point which I want to bring to chairman's notice. Similarly, this LDCE examination. You know the pandemic situation. People have to travel to the location where OFIL is located. And there they have to appear the examination. Even today in many of the cities, there is no train service. There is no public transport. How these people will go to the OFILs and conduct the examination? Rather, the the board can consider to have the examination in the factories itself. In a sealed cover, the question paper can be brought, and in the sealed cover, the question paper can be taken back. What is the difficulty in that? Even now, time is there, so I request chairman to consider this proposal instead of asking the workers. Already, many employees in the ordnance factories are affected because of the COVID. Yesterday also in HVF GM office MTS, one 38-year young boy collapsed in MTS. And daily we are getting a report about minimum 10 to 15 positive cases from different ordnance factories, either employees or their relatives. So in such a type of situation, we should have a proactive role and see that this LDCE is conducted at the factory level itself. This is also one request which I wanted to place it before you, sir. Similarly, corporatization, no corporatization, that's an issue. That's a separate issue which we are fighting. But manpower requirement, there is acute shortage. Trade apprentice recruitment, we have completely stopped. Board has completely stopped the recruitment. Even the 104 apprentices selected in Shahjahanpur, who have been just to offer the appointment order, because 275 items and all the OEF items are declared as non-core, you have stopped their recruitment. And when we raised this meeting with the Secretary DP has assured that these 104 fellows, if they have already selected, then we will try to accommodate them. That was in 2019 January, when Dr. Ajay Kumar was the Secretary DP. This was recorded in the minutes of the three federations meeting. But that also, nothing has happened, and those people, poor fellows, were sitting under strike, and ultimately management forced the police to remove them, and nothing has happened. There is a shortage of all categories. Industrial workers, there are acute shortage because trade apprentice recruitment we have stopped. Acute shortage of clerical staff, acute shortage of storekeepers, acute shortage of Darwan, even essential service, Darwan, firemen, paramedical staff, teaching staff. In all these categories, there is a huge gap between the sanction and the requirement. So why we should not only in the ministry may say corporatization, so nothing will be done. But Ordnance Factory Board should not succumb to that pressure. Ordnance Factory Board has to very clearly tell the government corporatization is an issue that is government issue. Federations are fighting, strike action they are taking, conciliation is going on, that is one part of the issue. But these genuine issues of the grievances, the employees' grievances, the government, you see, when we discuss about corporatization, they are not prepared to discuss. They say, your service will be protected. Your wages will be protected. Your pension will be protected. What is the new thing the ministry is going to protect? There are already government orders. This we have 100 times told the government. What is the new thing you are going to protect? 35 years ECS pension rule is there for the existing pensioners. NPS, poor that young people who have come with a lot of expectation in government service, their pension is taken away, no pension for them. So therefore, simply sitting in South Block and these bureaucrats telling, all your service will be protected, your wage will be protected, your pension will be protected, but these 10-15 issues which I have placed before you, if the ministry is so much considerate with the grievances of the employees and their demands, then why they are not considering? Why piecework correlation they are not approving? Why they have rejected examiner incentive? Why they have rejected the DOT for piece workers? If they are so much concerned about the welfare of the employees, then why they have stopped the recruitment? Why they have stopped the cadre restructuring? So therefore, sir, see, I am forced to raise all these issues before you, sir, because you know there is no JCM meeting. There is no Apex Productivity Council meeting. There is no meeting directly with the federations. It is now almost 6-7 months. We have never visited OFB headquarters. We have never gone to Delhi. All of us are in lockdown. Everybody is worried. So in this situation, my request to Vishwakarma Saab, who has taken over this organization, and you have to steer this organization for the next 1 year. Whatever may be the turbulence, whatever may be the issues, we have to fight it out. We have to sort it out. So therefore, sir, my request, I don't take much time because the general issues my president has very clearly placed before me. But then I thought, being the leader staff side of the JCM third level council, since there is no JCM meeting taking place, I should take advantage of this meeting which you have convened, and on behalf of this 80,000 workforce of the ordnance factories, their grievances, the issues which are agitating their minds, the issues which they are not getting from the government, I thought it is prudent for me to bring it before your notice, so that all these issues, whatever we have raised, has to be settled. As President Mr. Pathak mentioned, why DPC should get delayed in the factories or in the headquarters? Of course, chargement to JWM you are regularly issuing, but JWM to AWM is not happening. If JWM to AWM happens only, then resultant vacancies will come. Chargeman will become JWM. Then MCM will become chargeman. HS1 will become MCM. So all these issues are comprehensive which you have to do. One more issue I want to bring to your notice. There is no financial implication in that issue. The Ministry of Health have issued an instruction for changing the designation of the pharmacist. And Ministry of Health have implemented. And whenever we raise any paramedical staff issue, you will say, no. Ministry of Health is the nodal ministry. We have to follow their instruction. Now, Ministry of Health have issued the instruction that the pharmacist designation has to be changed, and the CGHS have implemented, railways have implemented. There is no financial implication. Only their designation will change. We have represented to you, the previous chairman has marked it to DHS, and then we came to know that we will wait for the cadre restructuring, and at that cadre restructuring when it will come. The paramedical cadre structuring, nursing for the past 10 years, that Dr. Sachin is going pillar to post to get it cleared, nothing is happening. So therefore, that pharmacist designation issue also is pending with the board. It is within the power of chairman, and no single paisa financial implication. Therefore, sir, I don't take much time, but then definitely yourself, member personnel and DDGIR must have taken note of all these issues agitating the minds of the employees. These issues have to be addressed, these issues have to be attended, and this is the first meeting. I am not expecting a reply for all the issues, whatever I have, but these are all pending issues, no new issue I have raised. So therefore, I am confident that in your reply, at least some of the issues you will address, and then we will have such type of interaction in frequent intervals. Thank you very much for a patient hearing.